Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome back to Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Do not be fooled by that fancy name. It's just me and some friends talking about baseball cards. No friends today, but a lot of baseball cards. So I've decided to go along with the sort of trend in the hobby community these days and do one of those top cards in my collection shows. Um, not doing a top 100 because when I got to 100, I was like, eh. When I got to 50, I was like, well, there's some more cards in here I want to do. So I decided to do 75. So I guess I'm a little out of the ordinary, even though I'm doing kind of an ordinary kind of show here, but top 75 cards in my collection. So um, I input my collection in Card Ladder earlier this year. It gave me a perspective on certain things, how much I have, values and things like that. And, I have sort of the top 75 here are in order based on what they are in my Card Ladder input. But I do have some quibbles with some of the values up and down. Some are higher, some are lower in terms of what I paid for them, what I think they're worth. But generally speaking, this is the top 75. So that with the order could be a little bit different depending upon how you decided to evaluate them. But top 75 value wise also happens to be in the frame of top 75 favorite cards in my collection too. So my collection consists of about 1,000 slabs, roughly 20,000 ungraded cards, 10 binders with sets and some players, and a large stack of photos, yearbooks, things of that nature, and things like a cigar box and some helmets and bobbleheads and things like that. So, but the bulk of my collection is vintage baseball cards. In this 75, there will be 74 baseball cards and one basketball card. Going to try to get through it pretty quickly and do it all in one run here. I'm not going to split it up into two parts. And then I'll talk, hopefully at the end, I will remember to talk a little bit about this year for me in the hobby. But bear in mind that I'm doing this kind of off the top of my head. I'm going to mess up on the numbers, but I have them in stacks of 25. So I know when I get to the next stack, I'll be at number 50. And number 25. So pardon me if I mess up the numbers a little bit. But anyway, so let's start. Number 75 is 1933 DeLong, Lefty Grove, a beautiful card. I absolutely love this card. I think it's undervalued. Pop count is not terribly low, but it's pretty low. I purchased this card in a bundle from Stan Locke at the Philly show probably about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, and I'm extremely pleased with it. It has retained the value in that time period. Number 74 is the 1910-11 Sporting Life Addie Joss. I do not have an Addie Joss T206, but this is the portrait that the T206 card uses, and this was significantly lesser in price than a 3 would run in the T206. And I just love this card. The portrait is amazing, and the colors are good. And it's a 3. I think it's possibly an undergraded 3, but extremely happy with that. Number 74. Number 73 is a 1916 Fleischmann's Bakery D381 Benny Koff. This is one without the coupon. I believe there is one graded example with a coupon and possibly 3 without. Super rare card. Number 73, Benny Koff. Number 72 is 1932 U.S. Caramel, Joe Cronin. This card has gone up in price. These 32 caramels are pretty low pop, generally speaking. The artwork is not great. It is reminiscent of the Crackjack cards, but this is a nice set. I just recently picked up another card from this set at the Philly show, but this Cronin is a little bit more valuable than that. 71 is a classic 1955 Hank Aaron in an SGC4. Not much you can say about this card other than that it is iconic, and I absolutely love it. 75, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is number 70. This is a T206 Mordecai Brown portrait. I think value on this is probably a little bit higher than this actual card, based on the fact that it's got some issues, and obviously it's probably a little overgraded, but it has this cool P stamp on the back that I love this card. Of course, I love all the cards. I will keep saying that over and over again. Sorry if I do. This is 69. It's a 1955 Ted Williams, iconic SGC4, as you can see. I love this, this Ted photo. It's used in his 56 also, and I think it's the same one for some of his 54s. So we'll see Ted a few more times in this run through. I think I'm at 68. This 1934 Jimmy Fox in a 2 was part of the Arizona collection that was discovered by Leighton Sheldon, and I acquired this from Leighton, I guess a couple of years ago, maybe about 3-4 years ago, at the Philly show, back when the Philly show was in just in room B in the convention expo, the Philly Expo that it's in now. Maybe the first time it was there, but Leighton and I worked a cash and trade deal for this, and I'm proud owner of a card from the Arizona collection. I believe this is 67. This card has lost some value. Willie Mays has gone down in value. This is the 1952 Bowman, second year Willie Mays in a 1. It's a decent enough 1. It's probably graded, but eye appeal is pretty decent. I got this in an auction from the Collector Connection about 3 years ago. I paid more than it's currently worth, but that's okay. It's part of my 52 Bowman set build. And Mays inexplicably has gone down in price. This is a 1954 Jackie Robinson Topps card. It is a VG3. It has the line there, print line right there, which makes it a 3. Otherwise, really, really nice card. I purchased this from someone on Twitter right before the 2022 National, leading me to have less cash at the 22 National. So I know when and where I bought it, and happy to own it. That was 60. This should be 65. T205 gold border. Christy Mathewson, gorgeous card in the high number of it's not in the lowers, in the 10s and 20s, because even though it looks beautiful on the back, missing some paper. I'm sorry, beautiful on the front, missing some paper on the back. Love this card. One of the great iconic Christy Mathewson cards. Purchased this from Garrett Wells on Facebook, I don't know, 2 years ago maybe. We're in the 60s still. What's the 572 W572 1923 Rogers Hornsby. A difficult set, as you can see, there's a crease in the middle, but it got a 1.5 because it's beautifully centered. And this is I think it's my only Hornsby card, and a tough one to find. I think John Mangini does not have this card, so there you go. Rogers Hornsby, one of the greatest second basemen of all time. I did a show on this card. It is the circa 1940 Cadena Azul St. Louis Cardinals when they went down to Havana to play some games in 1940. It has Hall of Famers on it, and I did a whole show on it, which I might link below, but it is a wonderful card. It has Johnny Mize in it. It's the second earliest Johnny Mize card I have in my collection, but he's still on the Cardinals at this point. Enos Slaughter's in here. Ducky Medwick is in here. So good, great card there. This card I purchased from Brian Deck at the Philly show about 3 years ago. It is the Cashin, 1929 Cashin Lefty Grove. It's like doubled in value since I purchased it because it is a classic card. Arguably Lefty Grove rookie, but that doesn't really matter to me. I'm just happy to have it in my collection. Now, this is a recent purchase from a gentleman on Twitter. 1926-27 Aguilitas Pelayo Chacon. Pelayo Chacon is not a Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, but he's a Cuban Hall of Famer. He is the father of Elio Chacon, who played in the Major Leagues for the Mets. And this is an absolutely gorgeous Cuban card from 100 years ago. Happy to purchase this at a really good price from a gentleman from Twitter. Purchased this from Stan Locke at the White Plains show maybe a year ago. It is the 1915 Cracker Jack Benny Kauf. This card has a little bit of authentic Cracker Jack staining, but otherwise very nice condition. It's got the 2, and it's a high number, and it is Benny Kauf's rookie card, and I am proud to own it. This card I purchased at the White Plains show, also maybe the same day as the Kauf card. This is a 1933 Tattoo Orbit. Absolutely gorgeous. Lefty Grove. It is a 4. Could it be a little overgraded? Doesn't matter to me. Absolutely beautiful card. Love the yellow and the red on this and the Grove portrait. Happy to own this one. Tattoo Orbit is a great set, and I would encourage anyone to buy these. I have a few others, but this one is absolutely amazing. Lefty Grove card. We're getting down into we're in the 50s now. I purchased this from Paul Borges at his shop in Newport in, I believe, 22. It is the 1948 Bowman Stan Musial rookie card. Off center, obviously. I'd like to sometime upgrade this. Is it a 2? Probably. But happy to have it in my collection. 1948 Stan Musial rookie. This is a great one I got off of eBay. I believe one of my Twitter friends gave me a pointer to this one. It's a 1.5. But look at this. Look at this Satchel Paige, 1953 top Satchel Paige. Oh, it's beautiful. It would be a 5 or a 6, but 4. You see those pinholes at the top there? There's a couple pinholes right above his the St. Louis in his cap. Pinholes for the victory here. This Satchel Paige is a valuable part of my collection in large part because it's such an iconic card and historically relevant card, and it's a beautiful high eye appeal example. Got this one raw off the back, I believe, of Sirius auctions, Sirius Sports auctions, and I purchased it raw. I sent it in because I wanted it graded. It got a higher grade than I expected. It is a nice card in terms of just the corners and the edges and stuff, but the centering top to bottom is really off. It's a 56 Clemente. This card popped into the top 75 today. It was not yesterday. I put together the 75 yesterday and then had to rearrange it today because values go up daily, but it's a 56 Roberto Clemente. Can't beat that. So this is 54. This is a 1933 Gowdy Lefty Grove. It's a 2 MC. I don't know what the MC is, except for it's a little off center top to bottom. And it got that MC for some reason. But the 33 Gowdy Lefty Grove is also an iconic card. I got this a really good value on Love of the Game auctions a few years ago. Really happy with it. It has gone up exponentially since then. So really happy to have gotten this card. Purchased this one. This would be, 51, 2, and 3. This would be 53. I purchased this one raw off of the tobacco card group on Facebook. I knew it was real. I wanted it graded. I believe it was Eric Deutsch. I'm not sure. But this was a one all day, but happy to have a Walter Johnson hands at chest T206 with a beautiful blue color in the background and a nice portrait, side view portrait of a profile of Don Johnson there. So the only non-baseball card in the top 75 is number 52. This is purchased at the Shriner Show in November from Paul Borges, Julius Irving rookie card in a 6.5. Happy to own it. The 51 is a card I purchased. I believe it was REA. I believe it was 2022. It is the iconic 1953 Topps Jackie Robinson. Great artwork with the train station behind him there, and just love to have this card. Yeah, it's a 1.5. It's got some issues in the rounded corners and some chipping on the edges of the black there, but overall pretty happy with this card here. So that's 75 through 51. Number 50, another card I purchased off of the tobacco card group on Facebook. This is a T206 white cap, Christy Mathewson. Man, it's so beautiful. It's The front of this is fabulous. The green and the blue and the Matty wind up, not the wind up, but the set position there. Centering is pretty good, rounded on his corners. But man, I've had this card since I believe 2021. It's an MK because it's got one of those stamps in the back and it's got some issues in the back, but it doesn't matter. The front is what looks forward. So that's 50. That would make this 49. This was purchased right around the time of the 2024 National. There was a delay in the shipping of it to me, and I got nervous, and I was texting back and forth with Andrew from Love of the Game Auctions about it, but ultimately it landed in my mailbox while I was at the 2024 National. 1949-50 Tolteros Marvin Williams, historically important player, Negro League player. He's one of the three individuals who tried out for the Red Sox at Fenway Park in, I believe, 1945 or 46. Along with Sam Jethro and Jackie Robinson. Marvin Williams is not in the Hall of Fame, probably should be, but I got this Tolteros card at a pretty good value from Love of the Game back in 24. This would be number 48. I believe the value on this in Card Ladder is way low, so it should be higher, but it's still in the top 75. I got this at the Shriner Show. It was my top pickup at the Shriner Show. 1911 George Close Candy. E94 Tris Speaker in the red, which is bright, beautiful red. I purchased this from Stan Locke, and I couldn't be happier with this card. 40, 50, 49, 48, 47. Ooh, it's got some dust on it. It's my Koufax rookie. It is a 2MC. Again, what's the MC? It's a little bit off center, top to bottom, but miscut, not really. Presents very well. Purchased this from, I believe, somebody on Facebook. I can't remember who it was, but this was in 2021, I believe, and paid up for it a little bit. I think it's about worth what I paid for it, so no value gained or lost in the last 5 years, but happy to have it. Of course, it's my Koufax rookie. It sits up there in the front. This one is interesting. It's the 1950 Jackie Robinson. There was a gentleman in New Jersey who had a large collection of 1950 Bowman cards that he had collected as a child, but he had taped them all together on his wall, and then he took them all down. He was, I believe, about 80 years old, and a music person that I knew from Twitter got in touch with me, Music Connection, and told me about this, said, you might be interested in this. And I took a look at it. And I said, yes, I'm interested. I could not work a deal for all the other cards, but I wanted the Robinson. So I paid cash for it. It was delivered to me personally, and I sent it off to SGC. It got an A because of the tape, and also there's a paper loss in the front there. But the picture of Robinson is fine. The centering is beautiful. The back is actually perfect. Without the flaws, it would be a higher grade, but that's the case with every lower grade card. But for what I paid for this, it's worth a little bit more than what I paid for it. But overall, pretty happy to have a 1950 Bowman Jackie Robinson in the collection. This one should be valued at higher than what Card Ladder gives it. Purchased this from Ash at the White Plains show probably 2 years ago. It's 1970 autographed Hank Aaron. As you know, if you watch this channel, I have over 400 cards from the 1970 top set with autographs. This and another one coming up soon are the two prized possessions of that, and it's one that I had to own. I did not buy this from Ash. I'm sorry. I purchased this at a really low price off of REA. I got the other one from Ash. Got this off of REA for less than half of what I paid for the other player, who we'll get to soon. But happy to own that Hank Aaron. Speaking of REA, they had about 5 of these in an auction, and I believe it was in 2021. And somehow or another, I got this card for a hammer price of less than $500. It is the 1957 Topps Mickey Mantle in a 4.5. Centering, yeah, it's off, but it's sharp, and the picture is beautiful, and there's no snow. So I don't know what this is. I think I think it's about doubled in price since I bought it. But REA, sometimes back in the old days, you could get deals on cards when they had multiple examples of the same card. You go for the lower grade and you get a better deal. So here you go. That was a good example of that. I don't think you can do that anymore with REA, but happy to have the 57 mantle. One of my favorite cards in my collection, one of my favorite cards in existence, the 1954 Red Heart Stan Musial. Striking with the color and the smile and the layout of this card. It is one of my favorite cards. Simply gorgeous card. And it's it's about what I paid for, a little up. I purchased this from Golden Auctions. I don't subscribe to Golden Auctions anymore, but purchased this in September of 24, I think, or 23. It was a September purchase. It took about 6 weeks to get to me after I won the auction, which I wasn't happy about. But anyway, I finally have it in hand, and here it is, the 54 Red Heart Stan Musial. Go back and watch the Red Heart show I did with Drew from Vintage Legacy earlier this year. Really good show. This card is the result of friends sending me a link and saying, I know you're looking for this guy. This just popped up on eBay. Go grab it. 50-51 Toleteros Buster Clarkson, a Negro League star who played briefly in the major leagues for the, I believe it was I think it was Boston Braves. Yeah, he was not in Milwaukee yet. So he played in Boston. This is a Pop 1. It is called the Both Ears Showing variation, but even in regular Pop, of all the different Clarksons from this set, is only about 10 graded. But this popped up on eBay. I'm going to buy it now. And I bought it then. Clicked right on it. Got it. So happy to have that one. I don't know where we are here at this 50, 49, 48. 7. I think this is 40. Oh, this one got, sorry about that. This one is off. It's bouncing around in the slab. Good old PSA slabs. They can't get the size right. This is a W573 Grover Alexander. The back is blank. W573. It looks like the American Caramels. It's a 1922 card. It is hand cut. Whoever hand cut this, cut it perfectly. It's incredible. But I guess it's undersized, which is why it's authentic. I got this in a Love of the Game auction in 2020 or 2021. And the price is like tripled since I got it. I guess the authentic scared people off, but look at this thing. I should get this reholded. Look at how it's off. It's bouncing around in here, which bothers me a lot. Anyway, so happy to have Grover Cleveland Alexander. It's my only card of Old Pete, so I don't need another one if you have a beauty like that. Purchased this from a dealer up in, it was the what they call the East Coast National. It was at a junior college up in Westchester. Paid up for it at the time, but it has been proven to be a good purchase for me. It's 1952 Stan Musial. It is a 5, but it is a beauty. Look at that. Oh my God. Look at the color on that. The blue and the red and the green and the Stan. And the centering is a little bit off and there's a little bit honest, but man, a 5, probably a little undergraded, but man, I love this card. 1952 Bowman. I'm building the set slowly but surely. I'm getting there. I'm, I guess, about 50 cards short, but Stan was one of the big ones to get, and man, did I get it. So 1952 Bowman Stan Musial. Woo. Love that. This one I did purchase from Ash at the White Plains show. I think this is the first DeLong I ever got. It's the 33 DeLong Jimmy Fox. As you can see, there's a crease through the middle, and it's authentic altered because I think it's trimmed, undersized a little bit, but man, look at that. Jimmy Fox, 33 DeLong, and the color's good. Centering is good. Obviously, it's an altered. That gave me a nice low price on it, and happy to have it. This was purchased in Strongsville in 2025, this year. Jack Glasscock should be in the Hall of Fame. He was the greatest shortstop in the 19th century in baseball. This is an old Judge. I guess it's the 86-87 old Judge N172. Jack Glasscock is playing for Indianapolis. They had a baseball team back then. But picture is a tiny bit faded, but pretty strong. I paid good for this. I got this from a dealer who I see at Strongsville every year. He's from, I believe, Kentucky. It's a young man who is probably in his 20s, maybe 30s, and his dad, and they are incredibly nice people. And he worked with me in the price on this, and I'm very happy to own this Jack Glasscock Old Judge card. Okay, we're getting probably into the, I don't know, maybe around 38, 39. This is a card I purchased off of eBay. Yeah, it's a 1. It's got some creasing, but it is one of the greatest cards in the history of the hobby, the 1956 Mickey Mantle. I'd like to upgrade this at some point, but I don't know. This is kind of special to me. It's the first 56 Mantle I owned, and helped complete my 56 set, and really just happy to have it. 1956 Mickey Mantle, man, what a card. I purchased this one from Henry Reynolds at the National this year. It is 1911-14 Brunner's Bred. He's on the Cubs, so it couldn't be 14. So it's 11-13 D304 Johnny Evers. Brunner's Bred has got the butter crust listed on the back. The yellow and the green and the art. I love this card, and it spoke to me from Henry's case. Henry worked with me, and I got this Brunner's Bred card. It's my only card from this set, and one of the many cards I have from Johnny Evers. I got this off of REA probably in March of this year. It is the E253 Oxford Confectionery George Sisler. It's given a 2 with an MK. I'm not sure where the MK is, but back in the old days, I don't think either did PSA. 1921 George Sisler card. Can't really beat that for a great portrait. And it is my only Sisler card, and I'm happy to have this one. Charles Geralt sold this card to me. Charles is one of the West Coast breakers, or was one of the West Coast breakers for Vintage Breaks. And I see him all the time at shows, the National, and he's been at the Philly show. And Charles is a wonderful gentleman who has a great collection. Sold this card to me through Facebook, but personal messages mostly. 1963 Mickey Mantle in a 5. I upgraded this card. I think I had it on 1.5, but this card has really, really nice lack of chipping. Let's put it that way. It gets a little white in the corners, but otherwise, just a beautiful portrait of Mantle with the Yankee facade in the background. I don't collect many 63 cards, but this is maybe the best card in that entire set. So, love to have it. Got this from Leighton Sheldon. This is the 1968 Nolan Ryan, Jerry Koosman rookie card in a 3. Presents really nicely for a 3. It's mostly centering left to right is the issue, a little rounded corners, but overall, really nice example of this card. The Ryan color is great, and happy to have it. It's part of my near complete 68 set. I purchased this gorgeous card from a dealer at the White Plains show. I can't remember his name. It's nice man. He had a bunch of these, and I had to have the Seaver. It's the same portrait that's used in the 68 and 69, but this is the 69 Top Super. You rarely ever see these. And look at the grade on that. It's an 8. Pop count is in the 20s, and so having this Seaver beautiful card in my collection, very proud of it. 1953 Topps high number Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle. Purchases at Strongsville in 2024. Overpaid for it, I think. Value-wise, Mays cards have dropped off, and this one has tape on the top and the bottom. But it's a high number. It's a 53 Willie Mays. Yeah, the bottom is kind of screwy there, but anyway, 53 Topps Willie Mays. Let's see, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So this is number 30. Also got this from Leighton Sheldon. This is a 1959 Mickey Mantle in a 4. This card has increased in value significantly over the last year. Just beautiful with the red. Centering is a tiny tad bit off, but it's really sharp. It's a 4, but probably could be higher. But that being said, happy to own that beautiful Mantle card. A lot of Mantles in here, as you can tell. The only time I ever went to the Chantilly show, this was my top pickup. I had been wanting this card and the price was too good to pass up. Yes, it has that triangle of paper loss at the top, but it doesn't affect the portrait of Mr. Joe DiMaggio, a 1949 Leaf card. And the red and the green are pretty solid with the blue, and I just love this Leaf card of DiMaggio. 26, 7. This is 28. I purchased this card from a wonderful gentleman in the hobby. You know him as Mike Petty. He is a aficionado of this particular set. He bought a whole giant batch of them and had some extras and gave me a deal. And I purchased this. I purchased it before, but I picked it up at the National this year. It is the 1959 Home Run Derby of Gil Hodges. Just love this. It's a 1, because it's got some back issues. Big deal. The front is beautiful. I love the way this presents. It's Gil's, batting stance. He's about to take a swing. He's in the batter's box, and so just great card. Thank you, Mike Petty, for this one. Will be in my collection forever. I purchased this from Don Field of Dreams card in the 2024 National at the YouTube Get Together, the one that actually took place. 1954 Topps Ernie Banks. It is a BVG4. Yeah, I'd have a few Beckett's. There's actually another Beckett coming up. Ernie Banks rookie card. Gotta have it. Top to bottom centering. Yeah, not a problem. Is it a 4? If it's graded by one of the other companies, if I cross this over, probably not, but it doesn't matter. Don gave me a good deal, and I was happy to pay him for it, and happy to have the Banks card in my collection. This is number 27 is this card. Purchased this at the 2022 National in Atlantic City from a gentleman who I didn't even know at the time. Now I know him fairly well. We're on a first-name basis, and I purchase from him all the time, is Bill Chappell. And Bill Chappell was set up there. If you recall, the Wi-Fi at the 2022 National in the Convention Center, Atlantic City, was terrible. And I paid for this card with PayPal. And Bill let me walk away with the card before the PayPal actually went through. So I knew at that point that Bill was a good guy. It is the 48 Bowman Yogi Berra. Yeah, centering a little off. Is it a 4? Maybe not. But it's my Berra, and I'm happy to own it, and it's part of my complete 1948 Bowman set, all in SGC slabs. Just a wonderful card. Yogi Berra rookie card. Thank you, Bill Chappell. So now we're down to the final 25 cards, and let's see, 33 minutes, not too bad. I should be done with this in 40, 45, so stick with it. Top 25 cards. Purchased this in the REA auction. I think it was it March or April, whatever it was. And while I was bidding on it live. I wasn't live. I was in the chat. But John 3D80's kid was doing his end of the auction for REA. And I remember Mike Petty was in there, and I believe Dave Berg from Blue Jacket 66, and possibly Tony, Southern Collector. And they were all rooting me on. And I really love the way that I ended up winning this card, because all those guys were part of it, and it's very special. It is a 1922. It says 21 on the flip, but it's a 22 American Caramel of Walter Johnson. Just a fabulous photo of Johnson throwing the ball there, and so happy to own this one. When it came in the mail, I was just like looking at it and saying, damn, so beautiful. It's a 1 because there's, as you can see, a little bit of paper loss in the back, but the front is fantastic. George Diamond Yard Sports Card sold this to me at the National this year. And, George is a gentleman, fantastic dealer to deal with, and just a good guy in the hobby. And, we sat there with our phones looking at prices and coming up with something that we both could be happy with. And so I got the Diamond Stars Hank Greenberg. And it's a 3, but hey, beautiful 3, right? So thank you, George. Happy to have that in the collection. So, story behind this card is that I was at the Philly show, the first Philly show after COVID. So it's the first card show that I attended after COVID. And The boom in the prices had started online, but a lot of the sort of old offline dealers hadn't caught up to the prices yet. So I went to a booth of a guy who had like, I don't know, 4 or 5 tables, and his son was working there. I saw this card. I saw the price on the card, looked up on my phone prices, and it was a really, really good deal. It is a BVG card. It is a 7 of Warren Spahn 1954 Red Heart. Again, another beautiful card of one of my guys. And a 7, maybe. Doesn't matter. Happy to have it. It's got a very high valuation because of Card Ladder seeing it as a 7. I think it's high, but it would be in my top 75 no matter what. Purchased this card from the REA auction maybe in January of this year. I set the comp. The highest ever paid for this at the time. It's the E93 Nap Lajoie Standard Caramel. I love this card so much. I had been looking for it at that point for about a year. And so many of the examples that I was looking at had creases through his face. There was one at the White Plains show in January. It was a crease through his face, and it was priced almost as high as this that I purchased it for. I got this off of REA. Interestingly enough, John 3D80's kid and I were bidding against each other and didn't know that until later on. I set the comp, but you know what? Card has gone up in value since then. So such a wonderful card. I love the red background. I love this more than they used this same pose for his for one of his T206 cards. I love this more than the T206. So happy to have this E93 Standard Caramel. It's a 1910 card. At the National in Cleveland in 2024, I bundled these next 2 cards together, and they're interestingly enough right next to each other. I paid more for the one that's ranked lower. It is my 1954 Red Heart Mickey Mantle. As you can see, there's a little tape damage on the bottom, but otherwise his face and the rest of the card is beautiful. I bundled it with this, the 39 Play Ball Joe DiMaggio, which has gone up in price. This one was inexpensive because tape damage on the back, but the front is gorgeous. So those are 2 together, interestingly enough. Now this one, price-wise, is what are we at, about 15 here? This one price-wise is far higher than it really should be, because not all ones are created equal. I purchased this card from REA because I've wanted this for so long, and if you buy it in a presentable high eye appeal example, even in a low grade, you're going to pay $2,000-3,000. I spent under $1,000 for this. And then I did a video on it where I created a term called Own Appeal. This is the original Own Appeal card because it doesn't have any eye appeal. It has no eye appeal. 0. There's a missing corner. There's creases like crazy. This is what Chris Sewell would call the run over by a truck division card. But I have a Mathewson Stockman. I have a Dockman Mathewson, and that to me is worth it. So I own this card. I don't own any eye appeal, but I own the card, and I'm happy to own it. Got this from REA, like I said, at a really inexpensive price compared to what these cards generally go for because of all the damage to it. But hey, it's my card, and I'm never going to get rid of it because it's historically important in the hobby, I guess, right? Get the term out of it. The Own Appeal, the original Own Appeal card. I got this off of Golden Auctions. I paid up for it because it is perfect. It's a 4, but it has razor sharp corners, perfect centering, and it should be, but for one thing I'll show you, it should be like an 8. I paid a 4 price for it because if you could see this, so you see above, next to the hat of Bill Dennehy, that is wax. There's a little bit of wax on this card, so the surface suffers in the grading. So you get a wax problem that gives you a card that looks like this for a price of a 4. This, of course, Tom Seaver 67 rookie card, high number. Completed my Tom Seaver run, or Tom Seaver Mets run, and just so happy to own this. stunning example, and it's at the front of my display case over there when I put it back. So we're getting near to the top 10. T206, Cy Young portrait. Can't beat it. Green is amazing. Rounded corners. Yeah, it's a 2, and it's a certification that begins with a 0. So this was graded a very long time ago. I got this from Leighton Sheldon in 2020, and it's been in my collection ever since, and it will never leave. Love my T206. This is the car that I purchased from Ash at the White Plains show in probably 2023. It's a 10 auto, 1970 tops, Willie Mays. I purchased this kind of right around the time of the Aaron, but this was way more expensive than the Aaron because the auto's a 10. The card's a high number. And so happy to have that. I, love this card. It's been in my collection or been in my life since 1970. And this particular example, I'm so happy to own the Mays with an auto. So there you go. This was also from REA. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 15 now. I am very close to completing the complete Braves set of Crackerjack cards, and this is the most expensive of them. It is the Robert Moranville. He's, of course, a Hall of Famer. This card is nice for 2. It's got a little bit of a diamond cut. I got this from REA auction. I paid less than I would have if I purchased it from a dealer at a show. I've seen the prices on this. I got a pretty good deal on it. Happy to have the Rabbit Moranville. And this one has something that many of them do. He has the mustache look. You get really close here. If you see under his nose, there's like a mark there. I guess it's a shadow. This one doesn't have it, but many of these, the shadow is much wider, and he has what looks like a mustache, commonly known as a mustache from a dictator from World War II. Whose name shall not be mentioned on this show, but to not have this mustache is something I had to get. This card was purchased from Ash at the 2025 National. Greg from Midlife sent pictures of what Ash would have in his case at the National about a week before the National. And I saw this and I said, oh, that's what I got to have. It's one of the cards on my want list. The eye appeal is off the charts. The grade is too low, but Ash doesn't bump up card prices for eye appeal. So you get this at what it's worth in the number. We got into Four Collectors got into the National early, and I went directly over to Ash and I purchased this. My first purchase of the entire National. It is the Hank Greenberg rookie card, the 34 Gaudy, in a stunningly high eye appeal example. And so happy to own this card. Shout out to Brian Roth, who sat down next to me on the couch in the suite, the Four Collectors suite, and looked at this and said, I don't know how this is a 3. And if anybody knows Hank Greenberg cards, it's Brian Roth. So shout out to Brian, shout out to Greg and Ash, of course, for me having the great fortune to have people give me information that allowed me to purchase a card of that beauty. In 2020, I purchased this card from Heritage Auctions. It's the only time I've purchased from Heritage Auctions. I paid up for it at the time, but it's now significantly more valuable, and it is one of the greatest cards in the hobby. It was number 1 in my most beautiful cards in my collection. It is the 1953 Bowman Pee Wee Reese in a PSA 6. One of the best cards that I own, one of the best cards I will probably ever own. Just maybe my favorite card in the hobby. And so just so happy to have purchased it all those years ago, and it's still with me. I had this card in a 1. I upgraded it. Got this from Leighton Sheldon. It is a 1954 Bowman Mickey Mantle in a 3. This went up in price overnight. I don't know what number it was at back then, but it was a It was a little bit lower. Now it's a little higher. It just Mantle 54. I mean, how can you beat it? The blue and the green and the Yankees jersey and the smile, just iconic card. Love having it. So I guess we're down about 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 11. This is 11. Tried to get this card at the Strongsville show, and I was very close to buying it, but I just couldn't pay for it. Couldn't put the money into I would have paid up for it. But Ash had this on Facebook, and he worked with me. Price has gone up since I bought it. It is a 3 because of the color and the centering. It does have a crease or a wrinkle right there. I don't know if you can see it even, but 49 Bowman Dobie. Registration is strong. As you can see, the yellow is bright, and this is just one of my prized possessions, a 1949 Bowman Larry Dobie. I believe this is now 10. Friend on Twitter was going to the Houston show, and I had the money to buy a card from this player, and this particular card is something I've wanted since I was a kid. I had a reprint set of the Gaudies. It wasn't a full set. It was probably about 30 cards, but it was pretty much all Hall of Famers. And this card is ingrained in my memory as one of the cards that I always wanted going back 50 years. 1934 Bowman, Lou Gehrig portrait. One of the most iconic cards in the hobby. So my friend from Twitter negotiated with the dealer, who ended up being Ash, who at the time I had only had any contact with him, here or there. I didn't really know him, but he worked the deal and did a bundle. So I ended up getting the benefit of the bundle and purchased this card by sending a Venmo to Ash from my couch while my friend negotiated for me from the Houston show. Sent the card off to me in the mail in one of those original blue boxes that they used to give you through eBay authentication. They don't do that anymore, but I still have the box. And this Lou Gehrig card came, and I couldn't have been happier. I was in my office when I got it because I mail most of my cards to my office. And I remember sitting at my desk, getting emotional that I had this card in my collection finally after 50 years. And there it is. I couldn't be happier. The grade is a 1, but I don't care. The face is beautiful, and the artwork is fantastic, and it is one of my favorite cards. I think this was a PWCC auction. No, this was also a Golden auction. I was in Newport on vacation, and I bid on this card at a number that was low enough that I figured I wasn't going to win, and I won. So I got an email while I'm spending money on vacation saying, "Oh, you got to pay for this card." 52 Bowman Mantle. This was the summer of 23, I believe, and 52 Bowman Mantle was in my collection. As you can see, there's a crease right in the middle of the card. It's a perfect card. By far, it's not, but it is a 1952 Mantle. So there you go. I won this card. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. This is number 8. I won this card in a break in 2020 on Vintage Breaks, and I knew what the price was. I knew what it was worth generally, but couldn't believe I owned it. It's the 54 Bowman Ted Williams. It's a 4 in an old SGC 4. As you can see, there's no border on the bottom and a lot of border on the top. I don't think this is a 4, but I don't care. It otherwise presents beautifully with the color and the registration and everything. It's a 54 Bowman Ted Williams. The story here is that Ted Williams did not sign a contract with Bowman. He was still in Korea in the Air Force. When he came back, he signed a contract with Topps, and Bowman had to pull this card. And so it used to be, people thought there were very, very few of these. There are more out there than people think, but it's still a super short print, which results in it being the 8th most valuable card in my collection. Now, number 7, I'm not so sure that the value on this is correct. I know what I paid for it. I didn't pay what Card Ladder is giving it as a price, but I am so happy to have this. I recently did a show on this, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. It's 1905 Rotograph postcard of the 1904 New York Giants team. We went through this player by player on my show. Again, I've shown it many times in the last couple of months. Just a fantastic card. All Carl Horner photographs, and some great players in here, non-Hall of Famers with incredible stories. And if you get a chance to watch that video, please go do it. So we have left here are 6 cards. Yeah, this one's thick. 6 cards. So this is number 6. Purchased this at the 2025 National from Tim Payne on day 2 of the National. Hadn't seen Tim in day 1, and I decided to seek him out. And I went over there, and there were some YouTube guys over there. It was Tony, Southern Collector, and Jason, and Greg from Midlife Cards. And as Greg sat there with his VCP, I negotiated with Tim, and I purchased this beautiful, beautiful card. It is a 1948 Leaf Ted Williams. As you can see, there's a tiny little dot under the A. Someone recently sent a comment, I think, in my national video, so a video from 5 months ago, asking if that was paper loss. It's not. It's a little bit of a print defect that the blue is not in there. It's just a little white blurb because the blue ink failed at that point. So other than that, though, look at the registration and color on this one. I mean, can you beat it? Number 6 in my collection, 49 Leaf Ted Williams. Man, I love this card. So that is, now we're in the top 5. This one also, Leighton Sheldon, 1954 Topps, Hank Aaron rookie card. Is there a greater card than this in the hobby? Certainly post-war, this is one of the greatest cards. I don't think there's a greatest card in the hobby after the post-war, but this is close to being one of them. It's certainly in the top 10. It's a 2, yeah. Rounded corners, big deal. Color's great. Registration is great. It's a Hank Aaron rookie card, and it is all mine, and I love it. Top 4. This one was not number 4 yesterday. The Aaron was. This one bumped over the Aaron overnight because there must have been a big mantle sale because a bunch of mantles went up overnight. And this one, it's my favorite post-war set. It's my second favorite card in my favorite post-war set. And how do you describe a card like this except to say that it's just a piece of art? The photography in this set is otherworldly, and this one is just a perfect example. It's Mickey Mantle in 1953 with the swing, the right-handed swing, and the blue sky, the perfect blue sky, and Yankee Stadium, and the world is perfect. And Mickey Mantle is swinging a bat, and it's 1953, and you couldn't really get any better than this. It's a 4.5. Okay, nice value on that. So here it is, my 1953 Bowman Mickey Mantle. It is number 4 in my collection. Number 3, the story here, and I think the value on this is probably a little bit inflated because all ones are not, or all authentics are not created equal. I don't know how I got some, looks like a little bit of dust. I'm at the National. I see Phil Gary. I go over and talk to Phil, and he has this card. And I know what it is. And I look at it, and I look at the price, and then I look at the back, and there's a crease in the middle of it, and there's a skinned back. But it is the 1946-47 Caramello Deportivo Martin Dihigo. And I am directly thinking of this because it's the National. And after the National, Orlando announced that he was having surgery. And The community came together, and Scott from Reindeer Studios made this artwork, gave the original artwork to Orlando, and then produced these cards, which he was selling and giving all of the proceeds to cancer research. And I purchased 2 of them. And I'm very, very proud to have this card because 2 of my best friends in the hobby, ironically, were involved in it. And it's a feel good story of the year, and it's the same image as this card. So how special is it? Phil Gary's a special dealer. I was directly off having purchased that card from Scott, and here it was presented to me, a Martin Tehigo card that I could afford because of the back. And so here it is, number 3 in my collection. I'm a proud owner of this. It sits up in the front of the display right up here, and I couldn't be happier. And I'm just so proud to own this card for so many reasons. So there's 2 left. We're under an hour. I made a lot of efforts before Strongsville this year to have the money to purchase a card of this player, this particular card. I didn't expect to get this back, but I got this card. I worked some shows. I sold some cards that I was not happy to have to sell, but I put together the money to be able to afford this. I wanted a Ty Cobb Portrait Red. I didn't expect to get an old mill back. This was bundled with other cards and purchased from Stan Locke before the doors opened at Strongsville this year. And it is the second card in my collection, the second highest value card in my collection. One of my favorite cards, of course, and it is so happy to have this one, and will forever remember all the things that went into me being able to get this card. So number 1, no surprise here. I watched Darren from Return to Collecting purchase a Babe Ruth card from Stan Locke at the National, and I saw the happiness on his face, and I took a picture of him with the card right after he purchased it. His dad was there. It was a special event, and it set. I wasn't jealous. I was happy for my friend. I was happy to have experienced watching that moment, and it inspired me. It wasn't jealousy, it was inspiration. So I decided at the 24 National to start saving money just for this card. So every time I got a little extra change here or there, I got a $100 bill here or there. There was a couple of things that I got some money in and was just extra money. Everything that I got extra money from July until about March, I ended up saving up several $1,000s to be able to buy this card. I had to kick in a little more at the end because I had planned to have enough at the National in 2025, but this was the Philly show in March. And I knew Leighton had one of these cards, and I was going to try to negotiate with Leighton, but his card was a little higher quality and the price was a little higher. But Ash had this card, and I was able to negotiate a price that I could afford. And as you can see, there's a crease right down the middle, but I don't care. The centering is good. The corners are honest. The color is good. It is a 1933 Goudey Babe Ruth, and it is the card. Yeah, that Gary card was one of the cards I wanted to own, but this is the card from that Goudey reprint set that I always wanted. It was the one I kept on top when I put the set in a rubber band and put it in my drawer or in a box. And this card is ingrained in my memory. This is another one that I've been wanting for 50 years. And when I bought it, I took a picture with Ash. I did a video that night on For Collectors, and I just, it just changed the collection. It changed the nature of the collection. And suddenly I became a person owning a Goudey Babe Ruth card. And that happened this year. So number 1 card in my collection. It's been an hour. It's 59 minutes. But I hope you stuck with me to the end. Because I wanted to say some things about 2025. On Sunday night, I'm doing a live stream, not this Sunday, but Sunday the 28th. So that'd be a week from today. Doing a live stream on Four Collectors with 5 other guys. Is it 1, 2? No, 4 other guys, all of whom I think had interesting stories for 2025. Um, and I'm going to talk about things that happened for me and to me and things that were inspirational in the hobby for me. And so just wanted to do this video beforehand. A lot of people who were mentioned today were influential, were helpful, were friends, were real friends, and did things for me this year that I'll never forget and I will always appreciate. And my collection exists in large part because it reflects me as a person, but also it reflects the people that have been part of my life while building this collection. And those people are just as important as anything. And so 2025 has been a good year and in the hobby for me. And so I'm so thankful for all the cards that I have, and for all the people that have helped me, and for all the different experiences that I had. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I've got a couple more videos before the end of the year. I'm going to do another history video on Wednesday, a short one, and then I have a special show with a special friend on the 28th, I guess it is, 27th, whatever Saturday is. We're going to do a special show. So I've got some more stuff before the end of the year, but tune in to my channel, and of course, tune in for Four Collectors. I'm also hosting Hobby Hotline on Saturday morning, so got a lot of stuff happening before the end of the year. So anyway, hope you stuck with me to the end. Thank you, folks, for a great year of you guys viewing the channel, and hope you stuck with me to the end for an hour and 1 minute, hour and 2 minutes of me going through 75